selling knives and swords here on the streets of Uzbekistan in Tashkent.
The silence fades into the night. Coyotes sing at the moonlight. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Feel the wind touch our face. Let's take a spin to a foreign place. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape, let's escape. Let's escape. Let's escape.
What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Tashkent. Hopefully you're having a great day. Starting off the day exploring the metro stations here in Tashkent, which you guys will see in a different episode. But right now I'm at one of the markets that has this pretty interesting structure. It's an indoor market as well as an outdoor fresh produce market, and quite a few other architectural and other buildings that can be explored here in Tashkent, alongside some of the vegetables and some of the other culinary points here in Tashkent. But without further ado, let's go and have a little city tour of the capital of Uzbekistan. As I mentioned, guys, check out the market. It's just fascinating to see this big turquoise and teal dome, and then just surrounded by a whole bunch of food and vegetable stands all throughout. It's actually quite huge, and you can find anything here from fruits, vegetables, shoes, you name it. It's probably here somewhere around a corner or within one of these stands. As you can tell, there are quite a few domes all throughout this market surrounding it. We got some right here, and they're all painted beautiful in turquoise, but the big one is quite large. And actually, let's go and take a peek inside and see how it looks. You know, hopefully the ceiling of the dome is decorated, or it has some type of art. You know, I mean, if you were to ask me, you know, without knowing what this is, I would probably put this as a, you know, as an arena. You know, it's something we associate it with when we see such a colossal building, but it's actually a market, a supermarket, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so it looks like right from the entrance you get the meat part, and guys, it smells quite a bit. But yeah, check out the high ceiling dome. Is all white, nothing decorated or sort of, but yeah, it looks like this is just meat and other animal products, because, you know, it's probably used as a refrigerator or something very similar. It's very cold in here. It's probably 3 or 4 degrees colder than outside, and right now we got around 13 or 14 Celsius. But either way, quite interesting. By far the largest market that I visited here in Uzbekistan, and there's quite a few of street vendors, no doubt. I mean, they're selling, you know, everything. I swear, there's everything here when it comes to produce, and a lot of it actually looks like it's imported as well. I looked at a few things like apples and pears, and you know, some of the prices are actually quite high, as you can tell right here. Those are definitely not grown here in Uzbekistan, but cool, no doubt. It's very intriguing to witness the markets all throughout. Whoa, guys, barely escaped that chaotic market after you get into the clothing aisles, if you can call them that way, it gets quite congested. It's like shoulder to shoulder, you know. Sometimes you're afraid you're just gonna hit something, especially if you have a backpack and you forget about it, you're gonna destroy people's stuff. But found this panorama point right here where you can see the whole dome from above. And yeah, as you can tell, the market is here, the market is there, the market is all throughout this dome. It's quite large, probably one of the biggest food and vegetable markets that I've seen, you know, all throughout Central Asia, if not the biggest one. Also very close to the market we have this interesting you know, mosque as well. Again, you know, quite a bit of turquoise all throughout Uzbekistan. We've seen turquoise in Tashkent, we've seen turquoise in Samarkand, and we have seen plenty of turquoise in Bukhara as well. But yeah guys, just to give you extra information regarding Tashkent, back in 1966 I believe there was a big earthquake here that destroyed quite a bit of the city, and you know, afterwards the Soviets made it as a goal to rebuild the city and kind of give a little bit of a Soviet vibe, and also some of the traditional rustic, if I can call it that way, Uzbek culture, combining a little bit of each. And you can tell by looking at the metro station, you know, the metro station was built with multiple purposes, as if you can tell, if you look at my Tashkent metro station guide, I kind of go through all the metro stations that I thought were interesting and hop on the metro, go and follow another one, and kind of take a little bit of photos and videos for each. So yeah, discover more in the video that's dedicated on my page to the metro stations, which are quite interesting and they have an interesting story behind it. Very close to the new mosque on the right, it looks like we have an older mosque as well. No idea exactly when this one was built, but it's in the same design as we have seen the other mosques in Samarkand and Bukhara. Just made it to Pakhtapur station guys, and this one is extremely packed. This is actually the train that I was gonna take, but there's so many people that it's not even worth it, you know. Until then, I'm just gonna take some photos of the architecture of the murals on the side, and that's pretty much it. Just gonna wait for the next one because it's just gonna be crammed whatsoever. It's getting close to rush hour, 4 o'clock here, so yeah, it's gonna be really busy all throughout the city. So just made it to this one other grocery market, vegetable, fruits and legumes and so on, but also there are a whole bunch of stands with swords and knives and a whole bunch of stuff. Let me show you guys right here some of the stuff that you can get on the streets of Tashkent. Check out those big swords right there. Damn, he looks a little bit irritated. Oh yeah, if you need scissors. Another grand building here in downtown Tashkent, and there it says Symposiumlar, which could be Symphony Hall or something like that, but Google Maps, I just looked, and it shows the National Library somewhere in this area, so not sure if it's a 2-in-1, but yeah, quite contemporary architecture, no doubt. Another quick fact about Tashkent, back in the Soviet days, he had a strategic role being so isolated here in Central Asia, and it became a manufacturing hub. From what I know, for many of the important and strategic plants in the former Soviet Union, that way it would be harder to reach, harder to, you know, bombard, if you can put it that way, because back in the day, hell, during the Cold War, you never knew what's going to happen. So, you know, thought that was quite interesting. That's why also the metro station, you know, served as a nuclear/bomb shelter all throughout this the last decades, and only in 2018 photos and videos were allowed to be taken at the subway. So yeah, definitely go and watch my metro series as well from here in Tashkent, where I go through a bunch of these stations that they're purely nice, decorated, and you can get more info. Currently made it to the Memorial Square here in Tashkent, but for whatever reason it looks like the park with some statues and so on, they're all blocked off, barricaded by the fence. Not sure exactly why. It doesn't look like it's in construction or anything, but yeah, pretty decent park. So far I've been in 3 quite large parks here in Tashkent, so definitely nature is viewed as a positive all throughout the city. We do have here a burning fire, an internal fire, if you can put the head to toe what it's called, Memorial Square, someone grieving, and the everlasting fire. Downtown Tashkent, guys, and check out this colossal building here, Hotel Uzbekistan. If you're looking for some typical rugged, rough Soviet architecture, this is it right here. It does look quite intriguing, no doubt, but it's colossal. Besides the old Soviet rough architecture, it looks like we have some modern architecture as well. Quite a few cities here in Central Asia, and again, no stop sign, by the way, no stop lights. Quite a few cities here, especially the capitals in Central Asia, do enjoy this modern, contemporary, eclectic architecture, no doubt. We have seen that from the footage in Astana, which of course it does not compare to Astana, but it looks like they are trying to copy quite a few things. This would definitely look interesting at night. Most likely it's lit up, and it looks like I see some domes as well, some of the turquoise domes. So I'm just gonna roam around a little bit here in this park, whatever it may be. Again, old Soviet, new contemporary modern architecture, just one close to another. What would Tashkent be without a colossal statue of Timur as well, right here in front of Hotel Uzbekistan and the other museum, I believe what it is. There's a huge park. So the big building with the turquoise dome, guys, is the Amir Timur Museum. So a whole museum dedicated to Tamerlane or Timur. I thought for a second it was a church or a mosque, but it looks like that is not the case. It's closed, so we cannot go inside to check it out. But either way, Timur Museum, close by with the Timur Park, where we got the big, huge, colossal Timur statue. If I had to compare Tashkent with another city, I would probably say Tirana in Albania. I have no idea why, but the layout, just the way everything is, kind of reminds me of Tirana. Quite a bit of lights here in downtown Tashkent, one of the main commercial streets from what it looks like. Some high-end restaurants and some high-end clothing stores, and right now it looks like it's a little bit deserted, but definitely prepared if people want to come and have some leisure time. It is a little bit cold right now, around probably 4 Celsius, if I'm not mistaken, but not bad, not windy at all whatsoever. Yeah, it was pretty big right there, but yeah, just kind of exploring and taking it step by step and seeing what the city has to offer. So going left, going right, I ended up in another park, and this one looks extremely new. This street right here, it's like a little copy of the gardens by the bay in Singapore. Looks very similar, although it's not lit up all the way and there's no music or festival of lights. It still looks quite interesting, and They have some deer, some bucks here. Not sure exactly what the resemblance is, you know, with the area of Tashkent. I doubt there are any deer here, but maybe because the holiday season. Either way, this one looks extremely new, guys. I mean, I'm talking about within a year, everything's paved. Well, everything. I mean, the grass. Check it out. This is grass for mid-November, super green. You know, even flowers everywhere. So yeah, guys, that was it from Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video. I'm gonna release a couple more videos from here, one highlighting, like I said earlier, the metro stations, an episode dedicated only to the metro here in Tashkent, and second is the one from is Uzbekistan safe? You know, some of the questions that came up regarding the country of Uzbekistan. Should you visit it? Precautions, you know, some of the things that I've been through, and you know, my perspective on them. But until then, guys, stay humble. Gratitude should be the only attitude, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
The silence fades into the night. Coyotes sing at the moonlight. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Feel the wind touch our face. Let's take a spin to a foreign place. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape.